Bill O'Reilly is here, host of the No Spin News, author of the coming book, Confronting the President's No Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. Bill, good to see you. People show their cards when they are fearful. Is that what's going on here?
I think it's ignorance, though. There is fear and loathing, as Hunter Thompson once wrote, but I think it's more ignorance. I don't know how any American, knowing anything about the Constitution or how this country was founded, could think the Supreme Court would allow two states to take a candidate's name off the ballot without due process, without anything, just because they don't like the candidate. Trump wasn't convicted of insurrection. He wasn't even charged with it. You had Colorado and Maine say, oh, well, we think he's an insurrectionist, and we're going to take the name off the ballot. That's a fifth grader, Leland. And, you know, that's the mentality we have in some of these television networks, fifth grade, would know that, no, the federal government is not going to allow individual states to hijack a presidential election. This is not going to happen. And it didn't, and that was, of course, the right ruling.
Look, I don't think anybody, as I said, any fair-minded person is going to argue in terms of the right ruling or not. You always, and I think rightly pointed out, to watch the reaction to things. And I'm wondering if the reaction about the ruling is not so much a manifestation, not of ignorance of the law, because anybody knows the law, but a manifestation of fear, because Democrats had long counted on all of these cases. Well, if it's not the documents case, it's the Georgia case. If it's not the Georgia case, it's the January 6th case. Maybe it'd be Alvin Bragg. Any one of these things was going to somehow convict Trump and keep him off the ballot or severely damage him politically. And every time that doesn't happen, the chance of him winning gets greater. That's fearful to a lot of people.
But again, it goes back to ignorance. So Trump's MAGA people are never going to desert him. And it is fairly apparent, if you follow the court proceedings, that they're out to get him. The Attorney General of New York said it. Elect me and I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll get him on something. And I just want to alert NewsNation viewers that the next thing down the line is they're going to throw out this fine against the Trump real estate corporations because it's excessive. And in the Constitution, you can't do that. You can't break somebody or try to destroy somebody. The punishment has to match the crime. So that's going to get tossed in federal court because New York is so corrupt. The state courts won't do it, although I shouldn't say that it's in stone. Maybe the state Supreme Court would, but I'd be surprised on that. So this all comes down to hysteria. I know I live in New York. I don't know if you saw this here.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, you know New York politics. Jamie Raskin, who I don't think has ever seen a television camera he doesn't love, had this to say today. Take a listen.
I am working with a number of my colleagues, including Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Eric Swalwell, to revive legislation that we had to set up a process by which we could determine that someone who committed insurrection is disqualified.
Legislation that has zero chance of going anywhere, I'm sure, to work well for his fundraising tweets.
Right. Good luck with that, Jamie.
Hey, I thought you were going to borrow good luck in your senior year from Trump. But hold on, let me just ask this. Do you think this makes it more likely, now that what's happening that you've laid out is happening, is it more likely now that Joe Biden gets replaced by Democrats between now and the convention?
I don't think there's linkage there. Let me just make 2 points. Jamie Raskin and his ilk, I-L-K, all right, are hysterical about Donald Trump. They're hysterical. They can't think. It's like one of these things. Now, the ruling about the ballots didn't have anything to do with Joe Biden at all. Biden was smart enough, or his people who tell him what to say, not to really weigh in on that. But I'll tell you what, we have Super Tuesday tomorrow, and I'll be on NewsNation around 9 o'clock, I understand. nothing's going to happen out of the ordinary. It's going to be Trump and Biden.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.